everybody, welcome back. We're going to be looking at the science tools in the MyndShare application now. If I click on the standard tools and it brings up my options, I'm going to click on science tools. The four at the top are the same on every toolbar. You've got your select, your erase, and then your text and writing tool. Under the science tools, you can see here I can bring up different circuit symbols that I'm able to drag to my desktop, and I'm able to work those around and move those around with different connectors. If I hit the two arrows that are in a circle, it actually brings up different things like the light bulb, the power with a battery, and I can actually do the on-off switch there, and I can build my own circuits with the students using these icons and pictures right on the circuit symbols tool on this science toolbar in the MyndShare application. We went over this in the last video. It's just the weather symbols. We talked a little bit more in depth about this in the geography video, if you want to take a look at that one. We've talked about this in other videos as well, which is the thermometer tool. It allows me to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, or vice versa. We've talked about this in other videos as well, which allows me to create a graph very quickly by putting in an x-axis and a y-axis label, putting in some data, hit the generate graph, and it'll generate a graph for me. Here's a pyramid function, which allows me to put a pyramid up on the screen. It allows me to add different layers to that pyramid. I can change colors of the different layers. If I want to, I can actually label the different layers, change the height and the colors and the text colors. I can do a lot of different stuff with that option. And over here, this is a very interesting one that you might find useful. It's the periodic table. It takes a second for it to come up on the screen. It brings up the entire periodic table, and I'm actually able to change the color of different elements here on the periodic table. If I want to just bring in noble gases, you can see that it shades in all of the noble gases. I can click off of that. I can choose metals, and it brings up all of the different metals. I can actually click on one of the elements, and it brings up some information about it. It brings up a diagram. It brings up the abbreviation. And it allows me also to click in the middle, and it tells me what it is. Helium. I could have pushed that out to the students' Chromebooks if I wanted to, and had them respond if I'm going to be quizzing them on what the different elements are on the periodic table. I can also click on the I for more information. It automatically takes me to a Wikipedia entry on helium, which gives me a lot of information. I'm certainly going to want to make sure that I check those sources and check that information, because don't forget, Wikipedia is not the most reliable source of information. Moving right along, we have this option here, which allows me to bring up different, protons and neutrons. I can label them, and I can actually move them around. I'm going to drag them here, different colors, and we're going to leave that going in the trash can as well. Underneath of that, we've got the measurement tools. We've seen those in other videos as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but you have the ruler. You also have this one here, which is a converter, which basically can convert pretty much anything. You've got weight, volume, distance, temperature, time, and area. So I can go from years to weeks, years to days, hours to years, etc. I have a stopwatch here, which allows me to do a timer or a countdown. I can do split times. And the last one is the protractor tool, which we saw on the math video. If you want a little bit more in-depth explanation of how to use this, hop on over to the math video, because you're going to learn all about how to use the protractor tool in that video. So those are the different options on the science toolbar in the MyndShare application.